Tanoyap, Tinon Siaman Siaya. Michem Kushaman, Mersanahani, Quiansna. Skochotmesh Ochamel, 8 Niska Ochmelch, Anunoxen Squall and Titsits. Hello, my name is Mersanahani, and my ancestral name is Mekocheam. I come from the Squamish and Nisga'a peoples, and I'm honored to be the Community Engagement Manager with the Home Relocation and Repurposing Program. Each year, over 2,700 homes are being demolished in Kum Eli, also known as the Greater Vancouver Area, and thousands more across Canada. Imagine if these homes could be saved, relocated, and repurposed for Indigenous communities and low-income families. It's estimated that 40% of those homes can actually be saved and brought to these communities. This project involves renewal home development in partnership with BC Indigenous Housing Society, Nickel Brothers, Lighthouse, and Coastal First Nations in BC. The Home Relocation and Repurposing Program provides an innovative solution for affordable, climate-compatible housing. The program has the potential to make a significant and immediate contribution to the 3.5 million units of housing that the CMHC says is required by 2030 to address the housing affordability crisis, particularly in the provinces with the most acute housing gaps: BC, Alberta, Ontario, and Quebec. First, we identify homes scheduled for demolition. We do this by using proprietary software developed as a part of the challenge. And what it does, it analyzes municipal demolition permit data and information from developers and other key stakeholders.
So there's essentially 4 key considerations when we look at the viability of a home. The first one is to take a look at the structural integrity of the building through a structural engineer report. The second thing to look at is what kind of hazardous materials might be in the building through a hazmat report. Third thing you want to look at is the condition of the building. How well maintained has it been? Has it been renovated? Then the fourth consideration is the movability of the building. Physically do the route out and assess whether or not the building can be moved through the local street to the barge site.
This is a people-centered approach, which involves completing a comprehensive needs assessment. We identify modernization elements to meet their needs and cultural practices of receiving nations.
We work with the receiving community to identify the different grants and the different revenue programs to help lower the ultimate cost for that community. We provide the layout drawings and the schematic drawings to the receiving community so that they can start planning which homes are going to go on which lots, and ultimately what their foundations are going to look like and what their service plans look like. So we're creating modernization facilities here in Metro Vancouver where the homes will go from point A to point B, fix the homes here in Metro Vancouver where it's more cost effective to do that as a turnkey solution.
Nickel Brothers moves each of these homes to the modernization facility utilizing an innovative and proven technology of hydraulic transporters. The transporters have been designed specifically to allow for the manipulation of buildings through tight corridors and roads. Nickel Brothers has moved well over 10,000 buildings in our tenure, and Nickel Brothers carries a high level of insurance for each of these buildings to ensure that they're completely covered during the process of the transport of the building.
So a couple of key things happen at the modernization facility, and it's really through a people-centered approach in consultation with the receiving community. We'll start with energy upgrades for the home, so windows, insulation, heat pump conversion, those kind of things. Then we'll take a look at any sort of cosmetic upgrades, maybe replacing carpet or laminate flooring, just to get the home to a point where the end user is proud of the home and comfortable in the home. And then the third thing is climate resiliency adaptations. So metal roofs, metal siding, especially for communities where they're battered by storms. So the benefits of using a modernization facility in an urban area like Metro Vancouver is that we can create partnerships with suppliers, Home Depot, IKEA, who are either willing to donate products and supplies or at least provide them at a very low cost. And we have great direct access to those supplies and those products. Keeping the modernization facility constantly busy, we're able to have secure labor, the carpenters, the plumbers, the electricians, all of those tradespeople locked in through the combination of a labor supply and the product and material supply coordinated at the facility. We can do things much more efficiently and cost effectively.
While the retrofits are being done, the receiving nation or housing association is preparing the site to receive the homes. This includes clearing the site, leveling the land, building the foundation, obtaining engineering plans, permitting, and servicing the homes once landed.
Nickel Brothers moves the homes to the final site by barge. We group them together, as many as 4 on a barge, in order to make it more affordable and to reduce the carbon footprint of the delivery. The buildings arrive on site, are skated and landed onto the new foundations, touch-ups completed, services connected, and ready for occupancy.
Now that the home is all set up and ready to go, the community can start planning their protocol and ceremony to welcome the home into the community.
Having strategic modernization sites is a key enabler of this model. And so strategically picking facilities in those supply areas enables us to save homes from high supply areas into the facilities. Number 2 are the transporter kits that are going to be attached to each home, and making the moving of the home into the facility, the renovation of the home in the facility, much more cost effective. So these transport kits, Nickel Brothers' current model, they don't stay with the home, but they're going to stay with the home during the renovation process. The advantage is that you don't have to take it on and off. If you can keep it with the home, do the modernization of the home with the transporter kit underneath it, and then take it onto the barge, you've saved yourself about $20,000. Ultimately, it's scale. As soon as you're moving 3-4 homes at a time, you're lowering your barge costs, you're lowering your traffic management costs, and ultimately you're creating streamlined processes at the modernization facility where it really becomes like an assembly line of products, materials, and labor. So the financing model starts with us identifying what the costs are, and we assess what the move costs will be, and then we assess what the renovation costs will be. And so those are our known starting costs. What we then do is we take a look at all the different revenue streams available, the developer's demolition budget, the different federal and provincial grant programs to help lower the renovation costs, and we put all of those things together to help lower the ultimate cost to the receiving community. And in some cases, we've seen that come down to about $50 a square foot.
The model is 60 to 70% more affordable compared to new on-reserve rental housing solutions, including modular, prefab, and new stick-built.
So the developer's contribution is the reallocation of the money that they would have given to a demolition company to demolish the building, and instead we're allocating that to the receiving community to essentially act as a responsible removal service.
Another benefit to home relocation is that it's faster. 6 to 12 months for a new construction compared to roughly 10 weeks to modernize and relocate a home. In remote areas, the difference can be even greater, depending on the availability of labor and materials and the length of the building season. But the impacts go even deeper.
Preserving homes supports resiliency against climate change. First, 25 metric tons of embodied carbon is retained by preserving the average 2,000 square foot home. We avoid sending 100,000 kilograms of building materials to landfill, which decomposes and releases greenhouse gas emissions. Embodied carbon is also avoided by not using virgin materials for new construction. There are also significant savings in operational emissions through energy efficiency upgrades made to the homes. At the request of a receiving nation or community, we also enhance the resiliency of these homes to withstand extreme weather conditions exacerbated by climate change. On our direct horizon, we've been working with about a dozen developers here in Metro Vancouver, and there's about 200 homes in our pipeline right now ready for 2024. In Stage 3, we will see the implementation and scaling of the program. Renewal is currently working with the Sechelt Nation in Sechelt and the Stahelis Nation in Agassiz for 14 modernized and relocated homes. We have an objective of delivering 40 renewal homes in year 1. By year 5, we aim to have acquired 4 to 5 low-tech modernization sites in key strategic urban areas and deliver 265 renewal homes to communities in need.
We have witnessed how gifting of these homes build deep relations and networks between those donating them and the First Nation communities receiving them. The act of reclaiming real property and repurposing to serve the needs of Indigenous communities has deep resonance and can be profound by bringing settlers and Indigenous peoples together. The relocation can be an act of reconciliation,